Welcome to the lovely HP community and the 5D collective as we continue our conversation on love. And we do have a new moon on the 27th. So for our 5D collective, it's consistently Dharma, the prefrontal cortex workout, thanks to creating resiliency in our restorative embodiment. Self-aware, accountable, regulating people who are securely attached, non-traumatized, take seriously all of it and don't walk around with dissociative disorders thinking that it's easier to die and be out of body than to live. So with that being said, I'm a mystic, not a spiritual bypasser, and not a 4D mystic. 5D is the word I use for that which is not only Christ consciousness, but it is the frequency of love that those who do embody their higher human potential, not everybody has to embody it. Restorative embodiment, you achieve this state thanks to having the higher self in the lead. You do not have the past living through you, so you don't live out your 0 to 8-year-old or think that being out of your window of tolerance is actually cool. You don't think it's cool at all. You know, wow, okay, I need more of Pat Ogden and Bessel van der Kolk actively in therapy so that I can get bilaterally, vertically, overall integrated in time. And as Bethany Brand, I think is her last name, and Ruth Lanius point out in my course with them, one of the many dissociative disorders, some people go there and say, we don't really have to integrate, do we? So they are two of the many that support people along this very, very important healing journey. And then there's the ones who say, it's dangerous to have no emotions. Let me dismantle the modern day therapist for you. And we leave that alone. I am, thank you God, with Jesus about forgiveness, and I do turn the other cheek because blessed are those who believe without seeing, but also because the kingdom of God resides within you. Not when you are telling me that it is easier to die than to live, because it means you are ignoring your very own brain. Okay, so we don't take anyone who's ignoring mental health to the point of where they think it's cool, once again, to be in their dissociative disorder state and to make it seem like there's a story behind it and that anybody who's trying to help them to get grounded in their body in aliveness is doing something wrong that you may not want because it's scary. That's a whole different story. And that's why Bethany Brand and Ruth Lanius talk about it in my course, Dissociative Disorder. So I'm just saying that this is a very in-depth topic. Here we do self-help personal development, and as a mystic, mentor, content creator, podcast host, I'm here with self-empowered, enlightening people. That's me, and that's why you're going to be here. The ones who think it's not possible, we already know who they are. Robert Sapolsky, with his book Determined, has given us an answer to there's no free will. I beg to differ, but then again, like I said, I come with God and faith and Jesus and Holy Spirit, and I'm a mystic who's not welcomed by all, but I know there's no Lucifer, so anybody who's still using the name disregards forensic criminologist Michael Stone and his scale, and that all the people in it, including the 7 to 14 who are not charming to us, will be following the leader as Peter Pan does with Wendy. And that's down the rabbit hole of Alice in Wonderland. And so the fantasy stage is for those who are addicted to their pseudo-alive or their teenage version. Essentially, they will say we're being suppressed, we're being manipulated. You'll find them blaming in envy. You'll find it all over the place to the point of where it's, you don't know everything. Yeah, I don't know everything. I actually am grounded in reality to the point of knowing that anything that is a cherishable belief, it's falsifiable. What can I do? I'm an academic at heart and mind. I'm also a seeker, and I'm also a person who uses an integrated brain. So with that, I can work 3,000 times faster because my brain is effectively communicating between all of its parts. Once again, the disservice is not mine. When I see modulated embodiment dysregulated on screen, the disservice is to their own actual embodiment. But 3D, 4D body types are way down because they are not actively anchored in ventral energy, and their distress consistently consumes them. So the self-loathing, gut-wrench, torn apart, and the lack of solo self, core self, narrative, relational self-integration means that their performance is a mask that we will 5 Kuzka hands. Okay, so when they have a fantasy stage, emotionally unavailable people are not actual partner material. It is a sad story, might I add. We don't call them names. In fact, we don't change it up with our twin flame or twin flames or our oversoul or our soulmates. We don't add or take away. We don't give people special attributes, because that's where the empowered feminine will instinctively, that's it. I'll know that you're someone to me, and then we will share with our mature empowered feminines the stories. And then we'll notice when we're not with the mature ones, and we'll leave it alone, because anyone who knows teenagers don't like to be left out. Yes, and so we try our best to be discerning and equanimous and loving like God is to me. And as he reminds me, Maria, please stop judging human suffering. It is not a waste of your time, because whenever you get to meet them, you're doing the physical mastery part of you as an Akashic record reader, and one who embodies the capacity to be one with consciousness. Yes, but I won't be like, oh my God, I'm actually that thing that is, here's the thing about being a channeler, a downloader, and actually knowing Krishna Leela, Shiva, and Kali in the essence of their story form, but also in the essence of the infinity of dark matter and dark energy and beyond. If I had been born a humongous human being, I would not have intellectually gotten to where I am as an empowered feminine. I also have this thing called, behind every great feminine is going to be a great masculine, and behind every great masculine is going to be a great feminine. I'll use the energetic imprint so we don't have to do the gender thing. A feminine who's empowered is your body with a ventral vagal state and a window welcome to sensations, images, feelings, thoughts. The minute you say, resiliency means I'm doing emotions, you're not here yet. It's okay. You don't have to. I went to personal self-help. I did all the other stuff. You don't have to be here. There's a Zen master for you who tells you about his mastery of Zen, apparently. And therefore, 4D mindfulness people who are not mindfully aware, but they do wear another hat. And again, it's a lower frequency where they like to be with the stars. I put Siddhartha's book down when I read. He left the town, sat under a tree, and didn't move Jesus died on a cross with stuff in his head and got whipped, and I didn't even watch the movie that was made because I knew I would be like, I'm gonna die just watching it. I already know what he went through. Like, this happened for real. Stop making up stories, conspiracy human beings, leave me alone. And I don't actually do that. But Bethany Brand, here she is. When a traumatized person is not well grounded, they are probably not fully using all of their brain. They are probably not able to think very logically, sequentially, and plan fully. In fact, actually, the certainty of anger dumbs you down, as does the cortisol from anger. So again, when I meet people who disregard that they're not masters of their anger, their fear, their sadness, their disgust, their surprise, and their happiness, I know I got nothing except for a person who, Ruth Lanius, MD, unless you are fully grounded, you cannot take in information fully. That's right, their frontal lobes are flopped down, amygdala's working, they're talking over me, and they're actively in, as Stephen Porges point out, red or yellow. You can't connect fully with others, no, because they're closed off. So they're in their safety behavior. They're not trusting. They're not present. They're not attuning. They're not resonating. They're not trusting. They're in defense mode, ready to test me as they speak over me. And they think they're omnipresent and know everything. In fact, when I don't meet whatever they want, that's why it's considered a losing strategy from Terry Real, but he helps couples. So the bridled, unbridled self-expression, the I'm right, you're wrong, the I know what I'm talking about, let me bring you down my trail of, breadcrumbs, and then the, I'm going to retaliate and withdraw. That's why we just don't interrupt. Excuse me. You're confusing science, spirituality. No, I bring them together. No, because I'm a mystic too. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I said it wrong. This is what I do. Personal development, self-help, spiritual growth. I'm a light body person. I am a Reiki master, Akashic record reader. I do a lot with God and beyond. I'm not welcomed by all, but I'm okay. My polyamory community doesn't welcome all, but I do. And the monoamory community that is empowered, we welcome all because we know what love is. You actively are the oxytocin gene hormone. When you're securely attached, you can't connect fully with others and you're not there fully. So when I meet dissociation in the face and on a screen, I'm like, okay, they actively do not believe Patrick Chaham that their past is living in them and that they're not giving up on toxic relationships because they keep on not going to Patrick Chaham to get healed, but they still don't believe in Stephen Porges, who shares with therapists, triggers are not words, scripts, or context. Please, it's a physiological state. And I'm not laughing because it's funny. So when I see people who just jibber jabber, but they're not embodying mental emotional mastery because they're not getting their brain integrated, and that's because they're not getting core narrative relational soul self. They're just explaining, oh, look, I'm in my window of not tolerance. Now I'm dissociating on a screen. No, that actively doesn't help me to see you doing it. What helps me is seeing a person like Kylie healing gets hate mail. I'm sorry, Kylie, but she's authentically healing, and you'll know the difference because she helps the ones who are also healing. While the ones say, I'm a sociopath, da, 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 here, come copy me and be a bitch. No, she doesn't do the bitch thing. I can be a bitch too, but I'm just saying, I don't do, hey, here's my 5 list, come copy me. I don't want copycats. That sounds lame. I want you to be yourself, not Maria. Plus, you couldn't be physically, because even if you own this body, you would still have the mind as Lisa, whatever her last name is, and I think it's Barrett, her middle name. But she says, yeah, sure, the body might keep the score, but the mind keeps the count. It's telling you what the body, so sensations, images, behaviors, affects, meanings. But people don't have a story. They need to learn. No, that's why Pat Ogden and Bessel van der Kolk, it's not jibber jabber. No, it's tainting your soul, because your soul is pure love, but that's the anchored in ventral energy that nobody will have, because if you don't know how to regulate your nervous system and stay on, you won't know it. And some people don't, because they think it's easier to be dead and out of body than be in the body, which means they still suffer, like the Zen master, his laundry, which means they are vulnerable, which means they're mammalian heritage. Their 1-year-old 01 is not owned by anyone. And so that attached panicky continues to do the attached panicky, because they don't know what it is to have primal attachment panic. I'm a twin, and so besides the polyamory thing, I probably had that when I was a kid, because I had to share my securely attached figure. I'm just saying, I can give you an explanation to why Maria knows what love is. It's a verb. It consistently is always the same for all, because I'm securely attached. It comes with my body, not yours. Oh, it comes not only with my body. I don't have a friend if I don't speak to you. It comes with my mind. Oh, I also don't hold on to envy, jealousy, revenge, all of that. That's a lower frequency, but also because I know how to have intimacy and conflict, because I have a twin. So I have an ally who I got to fight like a little cat and dog with. So I have been lucky. My superpower is having had a peer the same exact age as me, and a mother that was consistently, contingently communicating, who taught me good manners. That's what love is. It's, I don't leave you because you cheat on me, monoamory boyfriend. As a person who grew with my own solo polyamory relationships, I then got to formulate it to that polyfidelity, which is nice because you actively meet those who know what love is. That's the part. And they recognize this is not a traumatized human being. They actually know what they want in life. That's all. And really, I mean, relationships are intimate because there's intimate conversations you won't ever get. And I, on purpose, will say, when someone, you're giving them the good news and they're like, I don't use labels. It's like, wow, okay. And then they come back around. So wait, can you explain? Because they interrupted instead of being, wow, I'm so happy for you, like stuff like that. So again, behind every great woman, there is a great man in my case. And behind every great man, there is a great woman. And really, it's next to each other, because we all get to be our true selves, which means we have equal weaknesses and strengths. Yes. So mindfully living has yourself anchored in. So things like betrayal don't change you, they expand you. Since you deal with maximum uncertainty, life and relationships from the depths of you with your ventral energy. Engaged, anchored in, because you're using a ventral vagal state, because you have a window welcome to unknowns, uncertainties, unexpecteds of life, because that's what self-empowered people who are securely attached do, not the pseudo-alive, I want to be dead because I'd rather be with the stars. No, I'm alive. I'm lucky. When I'll die, I'll be dead. I won't even know. And I will be sad when I lose any of my loved ones. Thank goodness today is a day I woke up. All my loved ones are alive. Not everybody is this lucky. Your contribution to the world is you, how you live, how joyful you are. Everything has an impact, for better, for worse, for sickness and in health, richer and poorer. Yes, till death does part. That doesn't mean that I will be a stagnating flat line and that one of us is a copycat of the other. That's why Terry, you're awesome, man. I mean, it is not enough to ask people about a positive experience. It is about savoring that experience and getting them to stay with it. Bill O'Hanlon. So the 5D collectives, empowered masculines and feminines of mystics, spiritually and or mindfully living and loving people, are on an enthralling and exciting and intimately invigorating journey as they explore and expand each other on this lovely thing called Earth in the physical plane. And so when you do understand that, again, one, love is you, not somebody else, and that's because you're securely attached within you, then societal stories exist because that's what our history is, and societal norms. You don't have love because of the norms. You don't have integrity because of the norms, because of the past. It's because of you being self-empowered, securely attached, knowing how to keep your word, knowing that every word you utter, every action you take, your very existence, is it for everyone's sake? No, well-being, or is it just about you? Guess what savior complexes and spiritual bypassers do? Guess what, Elsa? How's it going, adoptive child? Are you still saving yourself and telling me, martyr, superior, codependent, with your aggressive or tricky tones, what you think the fuck I should do? Because get the fuck out of my space. No, I can't say that to you because my mother taught me how not to do that. And God taught me how not to play know-it-all. That's the other part. And he keeps chiming in on not judging human suffering, because I'm not upset because it's good or bad. No, lawyers, you're bad. You do cocaine. You break the law. What lawyers? You're a hypocrite. What kind of a fucking professional are you? I don't want you as my lawyer. And you telling me that power corrupts? No, I did a paper on it. And you obviously don't know about neuroscientists, neurobiologists, and how your brain is made. I do. And wow, you're not fun to be around. No, you're fine. I don't give a shit. So when people don't realize that their narrative is their little kid, it's a 2-year-old. I don't got no narrative. I said I'm an empowered feminine. We feel first. That's why the masculines get irritated with us. The not empowered ones. Dysregulated, just, well, I'm going to leave that one alone. And that's not about women or men. No. It's that envy, jealousy, spite is something I can't stand, because I can feel it in my bones. No, I'm going to leave it alone, because we are a big ball of energy, FYI, and as a piece of consciousness that is connected to all my brothers and sisters, I know exactly how we have a rainbow. Somewhere over the rainbow, na na na. That's also why I don't perceive insecure people at all, because I actively met as a teenager the assholes who are not real assholes. They just pretended to be. I don't consider envy, jealousy, spite as a weapon of anything. That's not even a weapon. 1, weapons are real weapons. 2, I don't like weapons at all. 3, we don't advance because of suffering or because of conflict. Actively, what was it? Decentralizing of the self. How does the brain work, Patrick McNamara? It needs to make sense of things. Great. What about, they could go, So when you meet smart people, they tell you why people flip and flop. And when I see hypocrites, I know that there are those who I will look forward to when I can say, hey, I want to gossip with you. I really do. And that's only with certain people, because the other thing you find out is it's not I want to gossip in a way of shitting on them. No, it's can I tell you about what hypocrisy is? Because I know we believe hypocrisy to be the same thing. Since I know you have integrity, empowered masculine, empowered feminine, I want to let you in on a fun fact. Walk like an Egyptian. I know you know how to do it. Do you know when you see the ones who do 1 and 2 and I'm copying you? Oh my God, mean girls. So I have a twin again. I don't copy because I got rejected at 4. I got sent home. I'm just saying, I had the you're not better or worse. You're different. You're different. Different, not better or worse. I just got told again and again and again. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be rejected. I got disowned. Ha 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 ha. You can't disown me. To this day, I'm the one who's like, and that's my 3-year-old. I totally have a bunch of energy. People don't know what to do with me sometimes, but it's okay, because I have a lover who dances with me. So this is where anchored in ventral energy, true love, it's not a person, and really it's you first of all. Then yes, it is also with those who are self-empowered, securely attached. They have awareness, accountability, regulation skills, and they don't do flip a switch. No, they actively don't do any of that healing. They heal, and they're not with people because of, are you lonesome tonight? Do you kiss me tonight? It's not because of loneliness that they end up with anyone. That's the part also. Yeah, I'm 45. As I get older, it's not even funny. I won't go there. But I see adolescents doing the same shit. So again, I'm just going to let you all in. Letting go of old models. Fun fact, polyamory, monoamory coexist because we're emotionally evolved. We consistently persevere as patient human beings who know that it's not about divine timing, and that, yes, when you overflow with humanity, divinity descends, but it's because your whole self, who is a verb like love, and so you consistently expand, which is why there's no fucking way in hell that life could ever get boring, because that's exactly where love, live, laugh, learn, expand, not cast stones. You're navigating your ventral energy. I mean, wow, your brain's expanding by the minute. What was it, Dr. Dan? 3,000 times more effectively in their communication. Integrated brain right here. You building resiliency in the restorative embodiment. So here's what I know about my oversoul. Human is not a resource. A human being is a tremendous possibility. With the right nurturing, they will blossom into someone remarkable. Yes, Sadhguru, yes. And though I am an empowered feminine, and so with that being said, we will be back with more, because I think I'm going to have love goes beyond a person, societal norms, or the physical plane. And instead of making a late IHP show, I'm going to make it a daily IHP show. And that will be what I'm going to do. So if you want, you can come back in for a little bit in a little while. I don't know. Or I might, post one after the other. In the meantime, if you don't, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.